Now let's talk about Finidi George now. And he's been appointed as the second assistant of the Super Eagles. We didn't see that coming. I didn't see that coming. I didn't see Finidi George in the picture. But just before we go into his appointment as an assistant coach, he came out to say something that during his time, he never won the African Footballer of the Year. I know how you love Finidi George.
Great guy.
You lay somewhat emphasis on his wing play. I mean, he was the best
in the world.
During his time, but he never won the African Footballer of the Year. And this was what he come out to say. Maybe I should have won, but during my time, it was very difficult because we had great strikers scoring goals like George Ware, Rashidi Yekini, and Kalusha Bwalya. I don't know who that is. I'm sorry.
You don't know who Kalusha Bwalya is? Damn! Are you kidding me?
I to be honest, I'm just being honest. I don't know who that is, but
I understand. The time it was raining was the year you were born, so I understand.
But Finidi George, like I said, maybe you should have won, but he came out to say also you're regarded as one of the best considering the number of goals you score. Back then, all-round players were not favourite to win. It was all about the strikers. When you score like 25 goals in Europe and you don't even do much for your country, you will still be regarded as the best. I gave more assists than scoring goals, so that worked against me. He doesn't have any regret. He had a fabulous career. So many players would have loved to, achieve what he has achieved today. But what do you make of that? Do you think Finidi George should have won the?
I don't think it's even a conversation. And say I'm laughing because we're talking Finidi George. I don't think it's a conversation because what happened then is still happening right now. So let's talk about great wingers first. David Beckham never won the European Footballer of the Year.
Yeah.
One of the greatest of his time. Ian Robben, Frank Ribéry. There's not a single winger that have won the European. I'm not talking of Ballon d'Or now. I'm talking of European Footballer of the Year. No winger have won it. It's always been a midfield and attack team. Once in a while, somebody from out of nowhere just come and blind everybody. Like in 2006, when the little Italian Fabio Cannavaro won it. After that, again, he went back to the normal traffic, and then the wishes and lizard of Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi took it for God knows how long. But that said, come to Africa. I can't remember any winger winning that award. We've had Yaya Toure, we've had Elijah Diop, we've had Sadio Mane, we've had Mo Salah, Emmanuel Adebayo, we've had Aubameyang. Not really have any, since forever. Does that blight the career of the only winger would be Emmanuel Amunike and Victor Ekpeba.
Salah?
Salah is not a winger. Salah is not. Don't do that. It's not a winger. Now, so when you look at Finidi George, if you ask me between Finidi George and Emmanuel Amunike, who's the better player? Like head, shoulder, everywhere. Finidi George is way, way better than Emmanuel Amunike, right? But the criteria to judge awards sometimes are very, very funny. Emmanuel Amunike won the 1994 African Footballer of the Year award. Played only one game at the African Cup of Nations, but scored 2 goals in the finals. Just the same way Zidane didn't have a great 1998, but was the best player in the world. In a World Cup where he picked a red card. People forget that. In a World Cup, he picked a red card, missed a game, didn't have a good tournament until the finals, scored 2-headed goals, crosses came in, scored 2-headed goals. He was the best player. In 2006, and 2004, Zidane played the football that nobody's ever played. Even aliens could not play. He didn't win the award. It was different. So sometimes when you look at this whole thing, once you know that this is voting and there's going to be emotion, there's going to be sentiment, it's always very, very difficult to say, oh, this is the reason why this person didn't win it. But I think that of his generation, Finidi George was, for me, the best winger that ever played of his generation. And it's got a Champions League, gold and silver medal to show for it.
Yeah.
To lead a team like Ajax to the finals, in that process playing AC Milan 3 times, twice in the group winning 2-1, 2-1, and then going all the way to the finals to win against them. It's not a joke, and you're an integral member of that team. You're not a fringe player. And then again, the next year you played again all the way to the finals and lost in Vienna on penalties to Juventus that had Fabrizio Ravenelli, Gianluca Vialli, everybody you can name. I think there was Antonio Conte that squad, if I'm not mistaken. All of those squad put together, and then all of a sudden you don't win in Africa. In that year, in 95, it was given to George Weah. In 96, who did they give it to again? I can't remember. And you see all of these players come out. I don't think that it should even be a conversation with Finidi George. How do you feel now winning the African Footballer of the Year? They were not in the races Finidi George, players like Finidi George were never in the races because Finidi George is a player who puts the team way ahead of him. You know, he wasn't a showman, he wasn't a flamboyant guy, he wasn't a loud guy, he wasn't the kind of guy who make noise about it. And I'm not begrudging anybody who's won the award. I don't begrudge them. I just felt that there are some people you look at like, this one was given as a compensation. This one was lucky. Emmanuel Sabastine award, to me, I call it a lucky award. Is Amunike deserving of the award? He got it. Finidi George had an excellent career, a great career. Anyhow you want to look at it. Yes, Ipswich Town and a few other games, maybe a club that I went to, maybe not good enough. But Finidi George is the standard bar, the gold or diamond standard for anybody who wants to play as a winger.
All right, let's move away from his playing days now. He's now into managerial positions. He's currently with Enyimba in the MPFL. Started well, but recently results has been a bit patchy. But the NFF came out to announce that he will be among the assistant coaches that would support the new manager when he's being named. Now, do you think it is too soon for Finidi George to come into the Super Eagles picture? Like I said, I didn't see that coming. A lot of people a lot of people felt Amunike will still be there, and the likes. But Finidi George, Yobo is no more there, so Finidi George now comes in as the second assistant. Do you think it's too soon? Should have maybe settled into coaching, like maybe give it some time before accepting this Super Eagles?
If I am Finidi George, I'll turn down the offer. I mean, that's the reason why I've got mad respect for people like them, Shea Love in general. Yeah, it's hard to turn down your country.
Yeah,
all these things we're saying is hard. I mean, I've had to turn down offers from my state and even from this state where we're in to come work in ministries. It's hard. It's hard because you go from the beloved to persona non grata instantly. And you cut ties with favors because you no longer can ask for favors in certain ways. It's hard. I've experienced it. But Finidi George should be judged on his coaching, not on his playing. As a football player, flawless. There's nothing against him. Nobody's got a hold on him. All these wingers, the Moses Simons of this world, the Chukwuezes of this world that were hailing to the high heavens cannot even lace his boots, right? But that said, it's not done well as a coach. If you're picking assistant based on, his coaching job, I think he should have been allowed to master the coaching job, especially knowing that going to the Super Eagles, it's not like it's going to make any impact. It's just going to be a water carrier, extra expense for the FA. It's $13,000 that they pay them for per match. That's big money. It might even go up. So that's an expense that the FA does not have. They should be bold enough, but this minister came in with an agenda. The agenda is, let me use my position. Let me be the minister that settles a lot of the ex-international. Eventually, if I'm able to get the governor seat of Oyo State, which he will never get, anyway, these guys, I'll be able to be inviting them to state house, do whatever agenda, sporting agenda that I want to do. And especially the class of 94 or the class of 94 to 98 or 2000, they like Owambe, they like gathering, Mogbomoya, okay? So this is the time to extend that friendship. But I think that Finidi George should focus on doing well in the second season with Enyimba. There's nothing wrong with him going back and winning the league. Imama didn't win the league the first season with Rangers, but second season in 2016, we saw how he did it. So I think he should focus on that, crafting the tactics. People should watch Enyimba play and see Finidi, the signature of Finidi in the team. Coming to the national team is a big distraction. It's not something that is needed right now. I think it should focus on Enyimba. Giving him the national team job, I can't see the merit for it. If it is just because you play for the national team, that's why you're qualified for that. That for me is not a good one, because what it will end up doing is it will derail Finidi. The respect that people have for Finidi, and Finidi is one of the most respected ex-international, one of those that you cannot put his name among the likes of the Mokocha or Terrible Words I Pray, like somebody who have conversion in front of Tinubu, or all those ones that anytime they want to play match because they are broke, they want to go collect money and play match, all those people. You can't call Finidi's name in that circle. But right now, by taking this job at this time, it's just about to enter that list now. It's just about to enter that list of people questioning, I say Finidi don't broke. I say Finidi don't the hungry. Because when you go to the Eagles camp, you really see that these people are not needed. They just go eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They don't really get used. And for a coach that is coming with his own backroom staff, I think these guys are not needed at all. They are just not needed. You don't need Finidi George right now. I'm sorry. Like, he's my hero, right? And I'm saying this, but I'm sorry, I'm going to say it because it could just be somebody else. And I will still say the same thing. So because my hero is there does not mean I have to bend my mouth and say, I love Finidi George. I'm not going to stop loving him. But if I was him and if he had seek my opinion, he needed my advice on this matter, I'll tell him, Finidi, in 5 years' time, you might be the lead coach of the Super Eagles. But what you needed to do in this space of these 5 years is to perform so well with Enyimba. Thank God Enyimba is a team that every other season they are in the continent. Perform so well with Enyimba. Do a pizzo mesemene with Enyimba. And then maybe you'll be coaching Al Ali or coaching one club in South Africa somewhere. And then they go call you to come back and do rescue. Right? That would do you well. But all this one that they are using the national team to do Nafrik for you. Nafrik in Nigerian Army is Nigerian Armed Forces Resettlement Center in Oshodi. When they want to pull you out of the army, when they want to retire you, they send you there. What they do there, they don't do military strategy or tactics there. They don't do reconnaissance there. What they do there is learn how to do fish farming, learn how to process cassava, learn how to do soap. All those things, that's what they do there. Because that's the army telling you that we have used you completely. You served 35 years. It's time for you to go out. And as you're going out, let's just teach you how to do all these things so that when you go out, the small money that will pay you, we'll use it to start business, petty business, and sustain yourself in case your pension delay. This is what the Super Eagles is now becoming for a lot of the ex-players, and I don't think it's a good one. We should have that conversation, and I don't think bringing Finidi George or any of these guys is good because he ends up damaging them more than doing them any good. I mean, what's it called? Iguavon right now is a damaged goods. Joseph Yebo, I don't know where it goes from here. Emmanuel Sabastine, I don't know where it goes from here. Sunday Lisa, we know how bad that one ended. Just name all of the ex-international that come into the Super Eagles. Sivikeshi, thank God he won the Nations Cup. After that, he died. Name them. The ex-international that keep coming to the national team, it has not turned out well because they've not really gone out there to prove themselves. I've said this before and I'm going to say it again. Most of these guys should humble themselves, take their badges to their club that they once played for, and plead to be in their youth team. Mertesacker is a German. He's in the under-23 coach of Arsenal. Ateta is a Spaniard, but he's with the Arsenal team. You go back and go and coach in those places because what that does to you is it exposes you to today's technology of the game. That's the advantage that people like them Otto Addo and Boateng have in Ghana. It exposes you to the technology of today. It exposes you to the realities of the game. It exposes you to the ego. Because, see, there is no generation of footballers that have ever been as rich as this generation. In terms of talent, for instance, the Super Eagles players of today do not have 0.0001% of the talent of the 94 class or the 98 class or the 2000 class. But guess what? There is never been a team of the Super Eagles players that is as rich as this. You see this group of players, there's not a governor in the future that will be able to invite some of them to come and play game. They would pay the governor off. These players that you have from that 2013, people like them Emmanuel Emenike and the rest coming forward. These them Osime, the rest of them, them Odio Egalo. These political class do not have a hold on them. So if you want to coach them, you should ride on their level. People say, I've heard people say something like, whether I enter Keke, I enter Korokpe, I enter Uber, or you drive a Ferrari and the same Lagos traffic will go there. No, we'll go there the same traffic, but the comfort I get inside that my Bentley or my mailbag, you not go get that for your life if you know rise up to my level. So these coaches need to also go to that level and be able to understand. Sometimes the difference between a good manager and a bad manager is how you talk to the players. You know that thing they say, it is not what you say, but it is how you said it, right? How you talk to the players, knowing where they are coming from, understanding their level, understanding the DNA of who they are right now, and knowing how to relate to them. Rather than coming in, Olisefe because he tried to run the Super Eagles from the west side of Manoa. Similar things happen with Iguavon. Iguavon is a great guy. As a person, a great guy, you can't fault him. But most time they run this ship from the ship of Clement Westerhoff. Clement Westerhoff come to the Super Eagles right now. He go fail, The failure, he might not win a single game. Because that method doesn't work now. These guys will work out on you. These guys are rich. These guys are not looking up to you to expose them to IRs, to expose them to any club abroad. They can work their way. Ariyo, Igbalayemi, is more powerful than any coach that we have in Nigeria. So he can take players abroad. So they don't need you the way they needed Westerhoff. We must all understand that. So the methodology of training these players, of coaching them, is different. Their DNA, their system, the way they assimilate is just like I can't raise my children the way my parent, my mom and my stepdad raised me. Because if I try it, I don't get children again. But then it was okay. But now I can't do that. I can't beat them like that. I can't scar them. I can't even talk to them like the way they talk to me. So you must understand all of these things first. And I don't think Finidi George have got it right now. We look at Eyimba and say, Eyimba last season played on the continent. Finidi George with Eyimba, they are 9th on the log table right now, if not 7 or 9th. So you look at the difference is too... No, I don't think they should have given him that job.
You are listening to Elegbete TV Radio.